We were just getting to the juicy part, I think. Wow, that was a tall person talking in this mic the other day. What it looks like. Is Lee? Wannabe. You mean a wannabe tall person?
Hey, that took me forever.
Oh, praise God. I know usually we let the teenagers go back on Wednesday night. Would you teenagers, would you allow me to preach to y'all tonight? Because I was coming home tonight, because I was driving, I was going to Poto, get a belt for a lawnmower that I tore up here. You know, as I was telling that testimony, you know, it's funny, but I know it doesn't seem like it, but you know, I've had bronchitis since last Friday, a pretty good case of it. And then all that stuff, and Monday, you can ask Brother Lee, poured concrete, Monday morning, trucks come late because they're supposed to have been there earlier, and then they got, both trucks got stuck. Brother Lee was driving. It wasn't his fault. The customer said we could drive out there, and I told him I didn't think so. But we got trucks stuck, equipment stuck. God still got it. While I was sitting back here just now, I was just thinking about, you know, the enemy came and God even, you know, he said, the enemy came and said, listen, you mess stuff up for him, you cause enough trouble, he'll curse you to his face. And I was thinking about that. I thought, you know what, you can bust my lawnmower, you can cause me to break a window or two, but I'm not going to curse my God.
Amen.
I love him, and though he slay me, yet will I serve him. Amen. I love God even to the point of death. Amen. I do. Till death do us part. Amen. The good part about that is that when death happens, that's when I'm not part. That's when I really get to get close. Amen. I'd like to turn to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 8, verse 1 through 20. Yeah, 1 through 20. I'm not going to say that this message is strictly for the teenagers, but I really did feel like that there's some adults and some teenagers, and even you younger people. I want you to get the gist of this message tonight. When I was driving down the road, I really did feel like God gave me this message, and I asked her, Sister Reese, and I think it was kind of meant to be. She said, Brother Scott had his brother come in and said it left her kind of short-handed. And I said, well, Sister, if it's okay, I'd really like to preach. I'd like for everybody to hear this message tonight if they would. And it's because I really feel like it's an everybody message. Because unless now wait, I'll tell you what, anybody that does not live on the earth and does not live on the planet Earth and also does not live in the United States on this continent, if you live in another planet, you're welcome to leave. And you don't have to listen to this message. But if you live on this planet, you live in America and you live in Oklahoma, if you live on this earth and you live in a human body, then you need to hear this message today. When Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons as Israel's leaders. I tell you what, before I go another step, I want to ask God's prayer. I want to ask God's will and his Holy Spirit to lead us. Father, I just pray, God, right now, that your Holy Spirit, Lord God, would lead not only my words, Lord God, not only lead my heart, Lord Jesus, but God, that you would touch the hearts and the ears of those that are listening, Lord God, so many times. You said in your word over and over again, you have ears to hear, but you don't hear me. Ears to hear, but you don't hear me. God, I pray, Lord Jesus, let their ears hear and let their heart and their head understand what your word is saying tonight. In Jesus, your name. Amen. The first name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second was Abijah. I probably got that wrong. And they served at Bathsheba. But his sons did not follow his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain and accepted bribes and perverted justice.
Oops, sorry.
They said to him, so as the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah, it said to him, you are old. Oh, don't you hate that? Now, you young people, you teenagers, you don't know what that's like. Well, you won't get on my mom's bad side? She's 77. She's not around here. And she hates it when the doctors go, well, ma'am, it's your age. She's like, you want to see my age? Get up and whoop you? Just tell me at my age. She's all time. That's the funny thing on the phone. She said, he didn't say it, but he come all the way around it. He didn't say, man, at your age, but he did say, you know, people of any age should really watch it. But that's one of her pet peeves. But Samuel, I guess he must not have been like that, because the people come to him and said, "You are old." They didn't beat around the bush. "And your sons do not follow your ways. Now appoint a king to lead us, such as all the nations have." Did you catch that? Such as all the nations have. But when they said, "Give us a king to lead us," this displeased Samuel. So he prayed to the Lord. Up to this point, I want to listen, teenagers. Listen, teenagers, young people. Up to this point, Israel had not been like the other nations. Up to this point, Israel had been a different people. They had lived a different way. Their king was Christ. They didn't know it. They knew him as Yahweh. They knew him as the great I am. But they followed God, and God was their conqueror. God fought their battles. God did all the work. And they reaped all the blessings, or reaped all the blessings. Do you understand that? God did all the work. The walls of Jericho, no other army had ever been able to whip Jericho because they had these giant walls. No other army could have done that. God knocked down those walls. They took them. 300 men put 100,000 to fight. How do you think that happened? Because God fought the fight. But now Israel wants to be just like everybody else. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Israel wants to be just like everybody else. Guys, we're not supposed to be like everybody else. And that is the biggest trick of the enemy right now, is to get all of y'all to act like everybody else. Well, my friends have got this. My friends have got this. My friends have a smartphone. My friends have this. They've got internet. They've got this. Oh, yeah? Are your friends looking at porn? Oh, I didn't. It's just a fact. Y'all like to look at me like I'm crazy. Everybody sits here and thinks that this stuff does it. I'm telling you guys. He looks at him and he says, "Listen to the people." And the Lord told him, "Listen to all that the people are saying to you." Now, now listen to this, guys. Listen to what I'm saying. Because I'm talking to you, and right now you're sitting there saying, "Listen to what the preacher's saying," and you're not even hearing it. This isn't me talking. This is God.
Amen.
That's exactly what he's telling. He says, "Listen to what the people are saying." Read on with me. "It is not you they are rejecting. It is not you they have rejected." What does it go on to say? "But they have rejected me as their king." Young people, older, I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you are my mom's age, 76 years old. If you want to go your way and you want to do it just like everybody else, you know what? As a church, we have to watch that we don't want to have church just like everybody else. Well, this is the way the First Baptist does it. This is the way that the Assembly of God does it. This is the way that they do it down here. That's fine. That's great. I hope it works for them. If that's what God asked them to do, then by all means do it. But Sonshine Fellowship shouldn't do it just because every other church is doing it. You know, when I was a kid, my mom used to say it this way: "Well, if everybody else jumps off a cliff, are you going to follow them?" And every one of us is saying, "No, they'd be stupid," but every one of us do it. Every one of us do it. How many of y'all ever been in church and somebody starts talking and everybody else starts talking? Even though you know the pastor's going to come down and he's going to kick you to the back wall? I don't want to do that. No. In school, it's the same way. Sister Sarah, it doesn't matter. Everybody can be behaving. One person starts. Next thing you know, two or three. My first day at Red Oak School, I got witness. First day in the school. First day in the district of Red Oak. I had lived in Sand Springs. I moved there that summer. It was my first day in school. Everybody else was doing spit laws, so guess what Kenny did? That looks like fun. Boom! Up there on that front chalkboard. Teacher walked through the door. You. He comes in there and he goes, "Kenny, you shouldn't be in here." What do you think I said? "You know, you're right. I got out of line. I was just, well, I'm so sorry." No, I said, "You know what? You're right." I started to walk out the door. He jerked me right back away. And I was like, you know what? I'm not as smart as I thought I was. Israel was not as smart as they think they are. Teenager, you are not as smart as you think you are. Brother Lee, you don't know this, but the other day, I had a truck that had, my truck weighs about 12,000 pounds. The trailer I was pulling behind it weighed probably, well, it was loaded. So altogether I weighed about 30,000 pounds. Okay? I'm stuck in the mud out there in the middle of this pasture. I can't, I was trying to get out of the spot we were in, and this concrete truck had left these giant ruts going all the way through where I needed to go, and I was like, I'm trying to go around it. I'm like, if I go through these ruts, I know I'm stuck. So I'm trying to go, well, I get stuck. And at first I'm kind of stuck on, it's just that trailer, the weight of that trailer, I just can't get enough traction. Now, any of y'all have ever pulled anything knows that you're not going to pull anything unless you have weight yourself. You have to have mass to do it. You know what? When I run into it, if I run into that door's going to move. Because I am mass. I'm 260 pounds. I'm going through that door if I run it. It'll probably hurt me, but I'm going through the door. If you don't have mass, I don't care how fast Landon runs, he's not going through that door. He just ain't got enough mass. Well, we hook another truck up to it with about 13,000, it weighs about 13,000 pounds because it's always loaded up with tools and stuff. All the wheels are spinning. We've got 12 wheels rolling down and still just spinning on top of the ground. You'll have to forgive me. These are both, one's a GMC, one's a Chevy. This new young man, he's a young man, he comes to work, and this homeowner comes driving up in this hopped up 3/4 ton Dodge. But it's completely empty. Completely. And he's like, well, that Dodge will pull both trucks out of there. I go, you don't know what you're talking. And I was very nice about it. My guys are just like, he said, and our trucks are both diesels, you know, they got all kind of torque. None of them are not moving. You know, it's not like we ran out of power, we're just spinning. And we're spinning with thousands of pounds. And he goes, oh, that'd pull both of y'all out. I said, son, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I know it would. And I looked at him, and I want you to hear my words. I said, son, that's your youth talking. I'm twice your age, over twice his age. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it wouldn't even scratch the surface. It would just all across the top, because it just flowed across the top. No weight in it. It ain't the fact that it's a Dodge or a Chevy, it's the fact that it ain't got no weight. But my point is, he did not know because he was not listening. He even got to the point where he got upset with the men. You could see it all over his face. We're talking to you from experience. Samuel is looking at the children of God and he is saying, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. The God that delivered you from Egypt. Now listen to what God said. He said, listen, they're not rejecting you, Samuel. They're saying they don't need me. They don't trust me. I'm going to read on. As they have done from the day I brought them up out of Egypt until this day, God's saying, listen, this ain't nothing new, Samuel. How many of you adults who can look back and say, this ain't nothing new? My kids don't listen to me. They didn't when they were little. They didn't when they were teenagers. Praise God, they probably won't listen to me at 30. It's just the way it gets. It don't matter. This man was 25 years old. He still ain't listening. I'm trying to talk to him from experience. I'm like, son, I pulled everything known to man. I pulled dozers out. It ain't easy. You get a track skid steer stuck and you tell me what, I'll tell you. When you got everything you can do, and it's suction. It suctions down in there. You know what I'm talking about? You know, it suctions in it. Yeah, you can even hear it as it pops loose. It's just like, you ain't getting that out with nothing. But you talk to people with experience. Samuel, now I want you to please follow with me, please, guys. This is not a big long message, but you've got to listen to this. As they have done since the day I brought them up out of Egypt until this day, forsaking me and serving other gods, so they are doing to you. Samuel, this ain't nothing new. Teenagers. How many of y'all, I want a truthful answer, and this is for the teenagers. Teenagers, I've got a question for you. How many of y'all can honestly say that somebody told you not to do something, specifically said this is not going to work out the way you think, and yet you did it anyways. I don't know why that is. It's like, and you know, as we're older, Brother Lynn, I'm just sitting there and I go, I just can't figure it out. I just can't understand it. I'm telling you not to do it. I'm telling you if you do this, it's going to happen this way. If you do this, it's not going to work. It's not going to. And they do it. I had a friend of mine who used to say it that way. I think it was from the Three Stooges. If I do it, I get in trouble. I do it. If I do it, I'm going to get in trouble. I do it. That's the way these people are. And that's the way we are. And let me tell you what happens is, and I can tell you why this happens, because we want to be like everybody else. We want to follow after money. We want to follow after belongings. We want to follow after popularity. I don't know what it is, Brother Lynn. It's always something different. The enemy's always saying it's something else. You know, it's always something good. I want to read this to you because this gets better, nothing but better. Forsaking me and serving other gods, so they are doing to you. Now go on. Now listen to them. But now listen. Now I don't want to confuse you. I want to show you what's going on. God says, I want you to listen to them. All right, Samuel, I want you to give them a king if that's really what they want. But before you give them a king, now how many of your parents have ever sat you down and said, guys, all right, I'm going to let you have your way. Hey, it's hard. It's hard to do that. All right? I've had times when I've known young people were lying to me. I had one young man, I knew that he was lying to me, and I kept looking at him, and I'd smile. And I loved him with all my heart. And I'd say, all right, bud. I said, but I got to tell you something. I know you're shining me on. I know you're not. I told him, I straight looked him in the eyes, Brother Kamari, and said, listen, this won't work unless you tell me the truth. Unless you're honest with me, I can't help you. No, everything's fine. I'm doing great. I'm God. God's all over me and blah, blah, blah. Can I tell you all something? Please hear this one too. There's one other thing that comes with age. We've been around the corner. And 99% of the time when you're lying to us, we know you're lying to us. And you can shine on to us and shine on and say, oh, I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth. I've had people get upset. And I was there myself one time, drunk as a skunk, telling my mom, I had nothing to drink. How dare you accuse me of drinking? Idiot looking at her going, I'm lying, and I'm lying. I'm so young and so stupid and so drunk, I don't know. Nobody, I fooled them all. Nobody knows. That's just stupidity. It's you. Let me tell you what, guys. What scares me about this message is if you don't watch it, sometimes those stupid remarks and those stupid actions and those stupid things we do, man, they have some horrible consequences.
Come on.
Amen.
Brother Lynn, I've been to too many teenagers' funerals. Way too many teenagers. I tell you what, if you've been to one, you've been to too many, but I've been to a lot more than that. Because they thought that nobody, and that, you know what, Sister Sharice, they were sure they were smarter than everybody else. That's what Israel's saying here. God says, listen, I want you to go ahead and give them. You know what happens, guys? You're going to get to the age when we got to go, okay. If that's what you really want. Statistics say if we try to hold you back from it, you're going to do it around our back and behind our back anyways. I've heard of everything, sisters. Some parents say, well, I'd rather they just drink in front of me as they drink behind my back. I'd rather at least know where they're at. We try everything as parents. Samuel, God tries everything with you. But God also says, listen, Samuel, I want you to give them what I want you to listen to them. That's what they really want. But before you do, and here it comes, guys. Samuel, God says, Samuel, I want you to warn them. All right? I want you to warn them solemnly and let them know what the king who will reign over them will claim as his right. I want you to know tonight what the world will claim as its rights. Hey, you don't have to follow the preacher. You don't have to follow the Bible. But know this. If you follow after Satan, and that's what you're doing, if you don't follow, brother, is there in between? There is never in the Bible, listen to me, there is no in between. Thou shalt either serve the Lord thy God Almighty, or you will serve mammon. You can't, you're going to have to choose one or the other. You're going to serve something. And God says, listen, I want you to understand, and I want you kids and you teenagers and even you adults, I want you to understand something. You're a big shot now. You can put on the big girl, that's what I call it. You can put on the big boy britches and big girl britches. But know this. What the world has a right. Do you read it there? I want you to tell them that they have a right. The enemy has, if you get out of the will of God, he has a right to claim some things. You're on my territory now. You know, that's why I've always talked about it, Brother Glenn. You know, you can yell and scream all you want, but don't come in my house yelling and screaming. In my house. And I don't care how big you are, I will whip you. Because it's my house. Well, you go into the world, Brother Caleb, it's his house. You want to leave God? I'm trying to tell you what the Lord put on my spirit today. It's still going on to this day. People in this world sit there and say, I don't need God, I don't need church, I don't want to be led by Him. We want what everybody else. Hey, listen, people, Brother Justin, there's a whole bunch of people. There's more people out of church tonight than there is in church. How many of y'all would say amen? In this world, I know that there's a whole lot more people out of church tonight than there is in church. There is. Well, then why can't we be like everybody else? Y'all hear? Why can't we be like everybody? Mom, why can't we be like other people? Why do we have to do that? Why don't we go to church on Sunday morning? So-and-so's going to fishing. All these other, my whole class is going to this. Everybody else is going to play ball. Everybody else is going. Listen, that's because we're not everybody else. Do you understand what it means to make Christ Lord of your life? It means you are making Him King of your life. I don't need another king. I don't need anything else to boss me around. Sister, when you were addicted to it bossed you around, didn't it? You that have been caught up in cigarettes, who was in charge? The cigarettes were in charge. Pornography, who's in charge? Pornography's in charge. The world has a payment that it will require of you, and God said, listen, I want you to tell them that that's what they want. And brother, I see it all the time. As your pastor, I talk to people all the time. And I know that they're headed to destruction. Some of them, Brother Justin, if they don't change their ways, they're going to end up in jail or in prison or in the grave. I could see it. I could see it. And at one time, Brother Lenny used to break me down to where I almost couldn't stand it. I got to the point, I almost became, it wasn't really depressed, but I got to the point where I was like, what's the use? People just don't listen. I'd see them going by and I'd see them doing their thing. I'll be driving that church bus on Sunday morning and I'll see people coming out of the liquor store. I see people coming out with 6 packs of beer and I'm like, what's the use? What's the use? People mowing their lawns and it's church day. I'm like, this is the day we're supposed to get together and worship God. People don't get it. People don't get it. And God says, listen, Kenny, that's your choice. But I want you to warn them. And that's our job, guys. And that's what I'm here this evening to do. I'm trying to tell you now. I want to go on. Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who were asking him for a king. Now listen to all this that he says. This is really important, guys. You've got to hear this part. He said, this is what the king who will reign over you will claim. Do you understand what it means, claim? You owe it. If you want to live that way, you owe it. Have y'all watched commercials lately? All the drug commercials they got? The kidney ones. I understand some of them are like for psoriasis. I don't know. I don't live with some of those things. I'm like, man, just live with us. I don't know. It might cause death. I'm like, whatever. I think I'll just itch. But I don't live that way. But there's a new one out, and it's really gaining popularity. I've seen a lot of commercials for it. And it's a drug that helps to prevent AIDS if you're a homosexual and you want to continue in that lifestyle. They actually come out and say that, basically. It's like, we want to help you live the lifestyle you want to live. Even though the King of Kings says this is wrong, we're going to try to help you. I want you to warn them that if they want to live by a king other than Christ, other than me. God says, listen, they want somebody to be in charge besides me. This is what the king who will reign over them will claim as his right. Do you understand that? Can I break this down pretty simple for you? If you don't live by God's rules, then you are allowing Satan to have rights to your body, to your soul. Sicknesses, diseases, things that happen to you. Are you listening to me? Oh, teenage pregnancy, that's fun. Married, you know, having a life before you're 14 and 15 years old. I've seen it. Hey, that's a forever deal, guys. Moms, am I right? It's a forever deal.
Amen.
But look what it says. Will claim his rights. He will take your sons. Boy, when I read that, Brother Wendell, that hit me. It will take your sons. You know, as a father, I have worried that some of the sins of my past will cost my children and my grandchildren because maybe I didn't get it right. I'm trying real hard now. I still worry that some of my sins, some of my past, rubs off on my kids before I can get my head straight. Does that make sense?
Amen.
Some of the things they saw in my life, I'm afraid I might have messed up. He will take your sons and make them serve. Did you hear that? He will take your sons and make them serve with his chariots and horses. They will run in front of his chariots. Do you understand what that means? When they go to war, they're going to be the first ones to die. Because he's king and he makes the rules. Let's go on. Some he will assign to be commanders of thousands and commanders of 50s, and others to plow his ground and to reap his harvest. Hey, some people he's going to bless them. They're going to be like stars and movie stars. In other words, they're going to be out there plowing the ground and reaping his harvest. Reaping not their harvest, reaping what? His harvest. They're going to work to pay for him. I'm glad she goes. And still others, he will make weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. He will make, oh wait ladies, you thought you were out of it. Yeah, he's going to take your sons. What did it say there? He will make your daughters to be perfumers, and cooks, and bakers. What do you think it means to be perfumers? Yeah. Pretty girls. Yeah. Dime a dozen. He will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his attendants. He will take a tenth of your grain and of your vintage and give it to his officials and his attendants. Your male and female servants and the best of your cattle and donkeys he will take for his own use. He will take a tenth of your flock. Do you hear what I keep saying? He will take. You know what, brother? I give God my offering. I give God in offerings, in tithing. I give to God because I want to. He doesn't take it from me. But if you don't serve God and you want somebody else to be in charge, listen to me. You can listen to me tonight, or you can just sit there and not listen to a word I've said. And let this world and go like, be just like Sister Judy, just like everybody else. Go out there and be just like, why do I have to be a word? You don't have to be a word. Be like everybody else. But know this, the enemy is going to take, and he's going to take, and he's going to take. Brother Caleb, I can't tell you how many of my friends that were in class with me when we were in when we were in high school. Brother Jared, I had some good buddies. Hey guys, how you doing, man? How don't you have a good time? I'll tell you what. We didn't say it back then. Now I think I don't even know if they say that. It was off the hook. We didn't say that. It was really cool. I don't know what we said, but I can't even remember. It's been that long.
Jive.
Huh?
Jive.
Jive. It was so good, man. It was, oh man. I had such a cool night last night. It was so funny. It was such a good time, sister. When I was hanging out in high school, thank Sister Summer, I was like, hey guys, that girl, she was so pretty. Woo, look at Summer, she's pretty. All these things I used to do when I was in high school, and some of them buddies of mine, they never got out of it. You know, I have buried 5 of my classmates. 5 of my classmates. There are some kids, there's some